Hi everyone, it's Dennis Youssef here, and I've got Darren Hunter with me today, and we are here with Inspired Growth Training. But today we're doing the Top Growth Podcast Show. Darren, amazing to have you on board with us here once again.
Thank you very much, Dennis. It's a good podcast show, and we were deciding whether this is going to be a Win Your Worth podcast show. By the way, if you're not at the Win Your Worth podcast show, this is all about getting the best fees with new clients and with current clients as well. So go and check that out. But Dennis, you were telling me, and what got my attention was people are saying to you that they're getting a lot more phone calls these days around current clients calling up, wanting discounts. Some are leaving, and so there has been some negative growth in regards to that. Tell us more about the problem that you're seeing and you're hearing about.
Yeah, I mean, Darren, I've been making so many phone calls over the last few weeks to people. I've been watching social media, the private landlord groups in social media, the IGT inner circle, in the discussions that people are having. And I'm noticing there's a lot more people. People are being really concerned about monies that they're spending. They're doing background checks. It always happens over Christmas. Everyone all of a sudden looks at their statements. But I'm seeing people and I'm listening to agents. They're calling me saying, I've got my current clients asking for discounts. A lot of businesses don't know how to grow their rent roll. So they're trying the poaching and they're offering discounts, right, as well. So if anyone's got some doubt out there and they're going to call their property manager and ask for a discount if they feel doubt. So I am seeing people having their current clients ringing them up and they're asking for a discount.
So everyone, in this podcast, we're going to cover some things that, well, firstly, we do not believe put down your fees. Okay, that is not the solution. In fact, you should be winding them up. Even in this tough economy, we're working with people that are getting an extra $500 a year per property with new business, or they're finding an extra 50% fee income per property or whatever. Fees still can successfully go up. So we definitely believe what fees you're at don't need to be going backwards. So we're going to be talking about that and how you can maintain your fee structure should you get questioned. But couple of things I'm going to put on the table first is that it's a little bit like, Dennis, the analogy that, for example, in Australia, we are seeing a lot more shark attacks. We're seeing, and the media really goes off on that. But of course, the truth, everybody, is that there are far more deaths occurring if you get in your car. You've got far more chance of being injured or unfortunately being killed in a car than getting eaten by or bitten by a shark. Okay, and that's the reality. So let's put this in perspective, everybody. Sure, you might have some more owners at the moment that are asking more questions about fees. If that's an issue, you may have lost some because of that. But I want to talk about, for example, where you can really, really lose business. And let's just worry about those holes first. So right now, our secret shoppers are calling agencies around the country, and we are finding up to 60% of agents are not calling back when we left a message, say the same day or the next day, or they're just not calling back at all. So are you losing growth and losing leads at that front end, Dennis? I mean, what's your percentage? What's your perspective on that?
Sharon, we are such a society of wanting things now. So it blows me away to see the 60% of the agencies that our secret shopping team are calling, and they're not even getting a call back. Like, owners today want something yesterday, right? It's like, we want to download it. We want to watch a movie. We want to download it now. We want to watch it now, right? We expect things straight away. Movies are going from the cinema to streaming so much quicker now. It's just how society is. So it does sadden me to see so many agents not being available or not having a system in place to speed up those inquiries. It's like tenants, when they've got maintenance, right? If the tenants have got a maintenance issue, you should have a company, like something in place like Tapi, so that it speeds up that process to keep that communication going so that it doesn't unsettle tenants, and then give them a reasoning to want to move out. New business is the same. You should have something in place so you are answering those new business inquiries ASAP. Because
So if you haven't got an accountability follow-up system in place and measuring all of your inquiries that are coming in, how quickly you're getting back to them, and making sure everyone's answered, you could be losing more business that way than this fee issue, that people are talking about. Alrighty, so the fee leakage of owners leaving or questioning could be really tiny compared to what you're losing at that front end. Now, another big area, everyone, that you will lose business on far more than the fee issue any day, and that's your calls not being returned with current clients, your emails not being returned with current clients, not servicing them right, because when they reach out to you, they've got an issue that needs to be dealt with. They have a sense of urgency about that, and if your sense of urgency is not on an equal par with theirs, and there is an indifference there, then it will cause a layer of value to be stripped out. Too much of that will result in them losing your rent, losing or exiting your rent roll. Okay, so two major areas there where growth is being lost. All right, and it's that communication end that has far more effect of you losing properties with a lack of proper service to owners and communication, and of course then the leads leaking out because you're not capturing them when they're coming in as well. So make sure you've got those holes plugged. Now, Dennis, I guess where a lot of this is coming from with the fee issues at the moment, we can't ignore this tough economy, okay? Is that the cost of living crisis is biting everybody, and it is causing possibly some owners to question about fees a little bit more. But it's also the factor we've got to understand. So, for example, I'm about to rent out my first Airbnb property, okay? One of the first things I did was join an Airbnb community. All
so
right.
And
one thing I noticed first, and I had to keep this in perspective, everyone was talking about their problems. It gave me the perception, if everyone's talking about the 0.5% of problems that they get, but not the 99.5% of successes they're dealing with, it gives a false impression that Airbnb is nothing but trouble. And so therefore, also people bringing this fee issue in, they'll talk about in this community, giving a false impression to owners, this is a real big deal. All right, so it's increasing the awareness to question fees in these groups as well. And more landlords and investors are being part of these Facebook groups where this activity is being encouraged. All right, now, everyone, the other thing you need to keep in mind, but we've got to talk about the psychology of what's going on behind this, is that those same owners are saying, I'm going to question your property management fees. Well, they're not calling up the bank and questioning the percentage or their annual service fee that they're getting hit by the bank. All right, they're not calling up their gym. They're not at Woolies asking for discounts. But because you work in real estate, it's worth a go to see if they can get discounts. Some people are calling you, very happy with your service, just to have a crack, just to see how, if they can actually get you to back down. They've got no intention of leaving people, but they're just giving you a try because it's the need to negotiate.
Darren, it blows me away that people think that just because it's real estate, if the owner thinks all you do is collect money and charge a fee, then they're going to ask you for a discount. But if they know and understand the subscriptions, the training, the continued development, and all the ins and outs, the appointments that you have with tenants, the negotiating with the maintenance people or whatever the case, that we all know, I could rattle on, there's hundreds of things that a property manager does. If they're kept up to date on all of the works and things that's going on behind the scenes, then they're less likely to ask for a discount.
Yeah.
I know an eye surgeon, if I'm going to have an operation on my eye and he says it's going to cost you $10,000, I'm not going to ask for a discount. I know he's gone to university. I know he's had hundreds of operations experience. I know it's going to be in a clean environment, etc.
In other words, the trust is deep. Okay, it's
solid.
Deep. Yeah, it's solid.
Solid.
It is rock solid, and therefore you're not going to question. But everyone, you just need to understand is that the trust is deep. So if you go to your hairdresser right now, that hairdresser you've been seeing for years and years, you know, I don't know what their name is. And you go and you're sitting in your appointment, and that hairdresser that comes over, that most trusted hairdresser that you don't go and fee shop other hairdressers charges every time you go out to get your hair done, because you know, I go to that person every time. I don't need to question. I don't need to look elsewhere. I don't need to price check. I just go without question. And they said to you, look, this has gone up, that's gone up, power's gone up, scissor sharpening's gone up, insurance has gone up, this has gone up, that's gone up, product's gone up. And you say, look, our fees have to go up by 20%. You'll just go, whatever. You'll just deal with it. You stay and you won't. And that's called sticky. All right. And your owners are sticky in your rent roll. So just because they come to you and ask for a discount, it doesn't mean they're going to leave. They're just trying because they've heard in these groups just to give it a go. So it's all about everyone, just like in new business, when someone says, but the other agent is cheaper, or if you can match your management fee with the other agent down the road, same deal with current clients. It's all about how well you respond. All right. Because in most cases, they are not going anywhere, even though they give you the impression that they might. They're simply saber rattling and rattling your cage. Dennis, I think you remember one of the world affairs that I watch every 4 years, when a new president of the United States comes in, there's one thing that's going to be guaranteed. You know what that is? North Korea is going to start making lots of noise and threats and all of this stuff. It's just saber rattling.
Yeah.
Right? And your owners call you and just pretend like they're going to leave, but they're just trying to negotiate. And if you're a better negotiator in what you say, then most people are just going to back down, knowing that they ticked that box in their mind and they gave it a crack.
Yeah, but Darren, again, it comes back to the trust factor, right? I mean, how many? So people might get 3 phone calls in a month. 3 phone calls. If you've got 300 landlords, that's a minority, right? It is a minority of numbers.
But it makes you think, though, doesn't it? That it clouds your mind and it's not put in perspective. And when I ask people, how many times have you received calls like that? It turns out to only just a few. And very few owners leave when they were happy on the fee issue.
Yeah,
Generally, they don't. And everybody, go and check how many inquiries are coming in, leads are coming in. Is everyone being followed up? Put more focus into that, because that's where you're probably losing business of missed leads. All right.
It's spot on.
And also around calls being returned, all of those sort of things, and owners leaving because they're upset too. So they're probably greater issues. You've got to put this thing in a realistic perspective. All right. So now, if you've done that and you're getting these calls here, Dennis, let's just share this script. And this is thank you to Turner Real Estate in Adelaide. They were happy to share this with us. And this is a script that is used by their main BDM, that when owners call on, they want to renegotiate their rates, they're ready with this script. So I'll just read it to you.
Darren, before you say it, we were doing in-office training with them, and that topic came up of current clients asking for a discount. Right? This is a big company. Turner Real Estate is a massive company.
Oh, look, they are the biggest real estate agent, or biggest rent roll in South Australia. So no doubt they get a few calls, more so than the rent roll with 200 or 300 properties.
That's right. But my point is, we're actually doing a podcast on this exact script. We went in there, we asked, what are your big pain points at the moment? This one came up, and then the BDM, and it's a very good script at what he was saying.
It is. And he just gives it. Remember, everyone, you understand that owners are simply trying to give it a crack. Okay. They're just seeing if you will. It doesn't mean they're going to leave. It's a strong, confident professional response with strength in your voice. All right, a bit of a property manager voice moment. All righty, but here is a script. So we've reviewed your current fee structure, and I can see that you're already on our client loyalty rate that is ordinarily reserved for clients with 2 or 3 properties. I appreciate your tenure with our company. We always aim to offer exceptional value for money with our services. Look, cost of running our business have significantly increased over the past few years, and also we've absorbed the vast majority of these costs rather than passing them on to our clients, as we do value your business. So I trust you'll find our package still provides exceptional value for money for our professional services. So you just remind them they're on a special deal anyway, or if that's the case, that's great. But other than that, it's a strong, confident response. You don't show fear. You don't let them see that your cage has been rattled, because that's what they're trying to do, to invoke fear. Sometimes, Dennis, and I liken it to the New Zealand rugby haka, where the haka's purpose is to create intimidation, to invoke fear, because we know when fear is involved, you're glued, your mind can't think, it causes problems. And so the best thing, so what does the other team do, Dennis? If you see the All Blacks doing the haka, what's the green and gold team doing?
Oh, come on. I mean, the Aussies, we just fear coming up against the All Blacks at the moment. We're rubbish.
Well, they just stand there, they're all in arms, all united.
And they link arms and they stand and they're
not showing fear.
No.
Because the haka's purpose is to create intimidation. Yeah. And so remember, everybody, when you get these calls, it's a bit like the haka. They're trying to rattle your cage. Just don't be rattled. Be ready and confident with a good response. And in just about every case, the owner will go, okay. And in their mind, they think, well, at least I gave it a try. All right. But because your fees are negotiable, just like on Facebook Marketplace, Dennis, one of the things that I just had enough with last week is all the Facebook Marketplace sales I've been doing. And everyone's trying to lowball me. I put my car on car sales. Everyone's trying to lowball me, because that's what you do with secondhand cars. You get the best price. That's what you do on Facebook Marketplace. Everyone's trying to get the best price. Real estate is in the same group and league, because fees are meant to be negotiable. There's only a few things around that do that, but that same owner won't go down to Woolies, Woolworths supermarket and ask for a discount. They won't ask for a discount down at McDonald's, but because you work in real estate. So just understand, everybody, the psychology that's behind it and what's going on at the moment. People are just trying to get a better deal, but it doesn't mean it has to be with you.
Darren, I want to share, because it really comes back to that trust factor again that you brought up, right? If your owners,
important, isn't it?
But I want to feed people in giving them some ways of how they can continually grow that trust. When you're chasing new business, do the follow-ups and answer the call, right? Don't be part of the high percentage of agents that aren't even calling back or answering the phone. Do your follow-ups, but you spend so much time in prospecting, winning business. We need to be putting just as much effort and time into keeping the business. And that is one of the keys in how you're going to not have owners ring you up and ask for a discount. You should be giving them, we call it a no reason call, but of course there's a purpose behind it. And I'm not just talking about calling them, asking them for referrals and asking them for more business and keep us top of mind if they know anyone else, right? That's another strategy altogether. But it's calling them up and giving them a reset, right? So if there's been a financial year change, or it's an anniversary, or a year change like January 1st, it's a great opportunity to give your owners a call and say, hey, we're at this time of the year. Over the next 12 months, this is what's going to happen with your property. When you first sign an owner up, Darren, if I was signing you up, I'm giving you a predictability plan. I'm telling you, okay, we're going to start marketing for the property, then we're going to start doing viewings, then we're going to do applications, then we're going to do the ingoing, then we're going to do the tenant induction, then we're going to do our first routine inspection, then we're going to do another routine, then we might look at a renewal or a rent increase, whatever the case, right? But after 12 months, you should be calling and doing a reset. giving them a call. That's a no reason call, keeping the faith. In between those payments, another phone call you could be making is drove past your property, hope you're doing well, I was thinking of you, I know, or if you know what business they're in, if they're an accountant or if they're a school teacher, ring them up about the holidays coming up, wish them the best, this, that, and the other. Keep on top of it. Another phone call to give them is, I've just attended some training. I just wanted to let you know about a new product we've put in place. You know, Tapi is a sponsor that we saw at this conference where these international trainers came and they talked about how it's going to streamline the business. It's going to help you, your tenants, etc. It's no additional cost for you, which is fantastic. Whatever the case, you're updating them. You're tapping them. You know, even during the conversation, oh my goodness, so good that we got the rent we did for you because the rents have dropped, but now we're getting a higher than market rent, so that's fantastic. Always update your owners, touch base with them, tap them, love them, because I know with, you know, Darren, you and I are both proud Toyota people, right? We love Toyota, right? We're both Toyota. Okay, I'm driving a different car now. Okay, I've moved on. I don't need the big car anymore, the Kluger. But when I was driving my Kluger and I saw the Toyota Kluger, I had a sense of pride in it, right? You need your owners to feel the same way about your brand. Have that sense of pride. So when someone rings up and they're having doubts over their property management, your landlords are so proud they don't care. They're not having those issues, and they're going to be a raving fan and say, you need to give Darren a call. This is what my agent's doing. Remind them about the good things. Update them about the new things that are coming in place. When a new staff member is, get them to call your owners and just say, hey, just introducing myself. Continually educate and update your owners. Tell them to follow your socials, right? For the continued updates. Do the market updates through videos, social media. Don't rely on email, you know. So when someone throws that doubt or they see that one little mistake, if you accidentally charged them a statement fee twice, they're not going to budge.
No, they're not. They're not. But just we've got to wrap up the podcast now, Dennis. But finally, just before I go, another point, everyone, Dennis has already alluded to this, is, you know, creating that sticky, creating that trust so deep they don't want to leave. Now, for example, Dennis, if I went to leave now, I always thought in my mind, if I went to a Samsung phone,
yep,
I would have a problem. And one of the things that Apple keeps me sticky to Apple is the Apple Notes.
Yeah.
How much problem am I going to have parting with Apple Notes? Because all my phone notes are in there, and it's just, I've got hundreds of Apple Notes now, and it keeps me sticky to the iPhone. All right.
Yeah.
One of many things. Now, what you can keep your owners sticky to your service is Tapi. All right. You haven't checked out Tapi yet. Such a great app. Such a great way to communicate with the owners when it comes to repairs, and particularly, Dennis, around the new national legislation that's coming in. It's already been passed through government, where property managers legally aren't to be taking calls and doing work, or they cannot be obligated to do that after hours. And so even more so, you need to be having a system in place around tenants needing repairs done after hours. Check out Tapi now. Tenants are raving about it. Owners are raving about it. It's going to make the maintenance and the repair side of things so much easier. Just remember that your main property management software you're on doesn't specialize in the repairs handling side of things like Tapi does. Do yourself a favor, go and check it out and go and get a demo. Go to Tapi, T-A-P-I, TapiHQ.com. All right? Go there and do a demonstration and check it out for yourself. And your owners will be really happy. Another level of sticky to keep them joined to you like an umbilical cord. So whenever the question comes up about fees or anything like that, they're very reluctant to part with you. And particularly, they call you up just to try you out. It's so much easier to give them a confident response. And that's the end of it. All right. They won't be asking again. Okay. So great podcast, Dennis.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we could talk about ways to help that stickiness over and over and over again. And Darren, we've done other podcasts on calling your current clients, you know. So, you know, go back, have a look at some of those podcasts that we've got. It's an easy way to grow your rent roll as well, you know, and it will stop current clients from calling you asking for discounts. You've got to keep that trust in. Darren, awesome podcast, and it's given me some ideas for some new ones that we'll be able to do as well, in the mix. But if you want to learn and understand more about growth, make sure that you follow go to our IGT inner circle, and surround yourself by other people. And if anyone wants to book in with me, go to growmyrentroll.com, and I'm happy to, that goes straight to my calendar. And, we can have a discussion about overcoming any fees or growing your rent roll ultimately, because that's what we're here for.
All right, everyone, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.